Welcome to the Inspiration Cafe, where today we're speaking with David Basler, Editor-in-Chief of OnePlus Magazine from the Meeting Professionals International. David, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Such a pleasure to meet you and have you here at the Inspiration Cafe, where technology meets inspiration. You have such a broad perspective of the industry, and I think that's one of the unique strengths that you bring to these discussions, because you look at it from all perspectives, from all crafts, from the supplier and the user community. What are the 2 or 3 big changes that you've seen in the industry over the past 12 to 18 months or a couple of years?
Over the last year and a half, I would say that the 2 biggest areas where we've seen the most change, especially in the technology aspect, are with mobile apps and with hybrid meetings. You cannot go anywhere without hearing the phrase that there's an app for that, right? Meetings are not immune to that as well. Every meeting should, if they don't already, have a mobile app for a multitude of reasons. It's an easy way to engage with the attendee. It's an easy way for the attendees to interact with each other and with the content that you're putting out there. It's an easy way to do anything that normally was done on paper and pencil in a conference guide or registration, maps to get around, find where other people are through GPS tracking, all sorts of great things with mobile apps. The other piece, the trend, would be hybrid meetings. We're seeing a lot of obviously going beyond the face-to-face and creating opportunities where attendees can go and enjoy the face-to-face and get the value out of it that way, but they can also experience the event from their office or from their home. A great example of a case study of that was earlier this year. We put out a case study at MPI in partnership with SAP on their event Sapphire Now, which it really took hybrid to the next level, because they had a live event in the United States, they had a live event in Europe going on simultaneously, and they also had people at their offices throughout the world. The people who were in the different locations, as well as on their computer, were able to interact with each other, for instance, through a touchscreen wall at the event itself, and be able to, even though they were thousands of miles apart, be able to interact as if they were face-to-face. And it really, like I said, it really took hybrid to the next level, other than what had been done before, which was simply, there's a meeting going on over here, I can't attend, so I'm going to sit at my desk and listen in or watch a streaming video, which is fine, but it took that to the next level, and SAP really showed, they're blazing the trail, they showed the way to do it.
It must be, I would imagine, does it in any way impact the communication at the event? If you're not there, does not being at a live event impact learning or impact messaging? Or
if it's done correctly, I don't think it will.
Right.
Obviously, it's still in the infancy stages, so there's going to be a lot of hiccups. There's going to be a lot of learning going on by the people who are putting on the meetings as well. In the future, I don't think that will be nearly as much of an issue as it has been and is maybe now, but with practice will come better hybrid meetings.
The other area, I know this is a particular passion of yours, is corporate sustainability, CSR. Mm-hmm. And could you talk just a bit about your attitude toward that?
And the 2 are linked in many ways. Okay. I mean, the business value that a meeting brings to a destination, for instance, that's corporate social responsibility. It's all, from that aspect, it's all about how much is this meeting that we have in this destination helping this destination. Could be through the taxi drivers that are taking people around from different venues to hotels. It's about the bus boys. It's about the wait staff. It's all of this stuff that that is all about the business value of that meeting to that local economy. And CSR, you said it's a passion of mine. I think it's a passion of everyone's, personally. I think that that's why it's such an up-and-coming topic right now, not only in our industry but other industries. It's just inherently in us as humans to do good, to reach out to people and donate when we need to from an environmental standpoint, something that everyone can relate to. It's the people who are getting rid of their gas-guzzling SUVs and buying electric cars. It's people who are joining the movements that are out there where they can buy a pair of shoes for themselves and know that a pair of shoes is being donated to someone who needs them. It's from a technology standpoint, it's the technologies out there that allow us to pick up our mobile phone and donate with the click of a couple of buttons to flood victims in Taiwan or New Orleans or wherever. I just think CSR is something, it's important to not only the meeting and event industry, it's just important to the world.
Companies for a long time have had corporate stewardship programs.
Sure.
Which vary from genuine to opportunistic. But they didn't always include meetings as part of that. So have meetings kind of caught up with that overall corporate stewardship strategy, or?
Well, honestly, I think part of the reason why meetings have caught up, as you say, is what we found back in '08 with the AIG effect, where everyone instantly thought that meetings were boondoggles, and corporations were going to have these meetings and waste taxpayer dollars or waste money. They weren't doing any good for the local area or whatever. So I think the rise in CSR has largely come out of that.
Come out of that in the sense of proving that that's not the
case.
Yeah.
Exactly. And again, that gets back to business value of meetings as well. But as you said, I mean, corporations have always had stewardship programs, but I think that the term corporate social responsibility has taken it to the next level, and it's also taken it beyond just the corporate aspect of things.
It's not dissimilar, I suppose, from companies having to grapple with the whole green strategy and prove there is a bottom line benefit to it.
Yeah, and that's an environmental aspect to technology. From a meeting perspective, here's a great example. You can put everything that you would normally put in a 96-page conference guide that wastes X number of trees and has X number of carbon output. You can put that on an app now, and everyone carries it around, and you need it, you just pull it out and find out where every piece of the event that you need to find out. It's right there at the palm of your hand, and at a fraction of the cost for the organization putting on the meetings.
Are there any, when you think about letters or things you hear, because you're an editor, my goodness, your ear is always to the ground, is there any constant or recurring theme you hear from young people about, I wish this industry would do this, or anything you hear from companies about, I wish planners would do this? I'm thinking of those watching us and hoping we might give them a tip or two to say, look, this is where your sponsors are concerned, or this is where companies are concerned, or young people.
The young people question is very easy to answer. More connected.
More connected.
More connected.
Within their organization?
More connected. With anything. The young people, just as I've said, they want information on the go. I think a lot of them that I am regularly in contact with, a lot of them think that the industry is in many ways stuck in the Stone Age when it comes to information sharing. But that, with events like SAP and with the mobile apps and hybrid meetings that are out there, I think we're going in the right direction. But for the speedy, younger generation, it may not be fast enough.
But they want the connectedness.
They want it yesterday. Yep.
Just to close, I mean, how do you see the next? We've looked back a little bit. How do you see the next 12 months?
The
robust
next 12 months
opportunities?
Yeah, I think it definitely is robust. We just actually just launched or just received back our latest Future Watch and Business Barometer data at MPI, and don't hold me to this, but if I remember correctly, 70% of the people in our industry who we surveyed said that they thought 2012 was going to be favorable.
Great.
We also saw an interesting stat, and we also saw a pretty big jump from our last round of employment data on the rise as well. But I think if you want to know what the next big thing is,
yes,
in my estimation, I think, and again, it's not necessarily a new thing for the younger generation, but for our industry, it's the next new thing. I think is augmented reality.
Augmented reality.
Augmented reality. There's an example that anyone can go download right now that's a good example, everyday example. Starbucks has an app that they launched around Christmas time where by pointing your mobile phone at one of their Starbucks cups with this app running, the cup comes to life. And I think that that's a small example, but I think that it definitely has a future in meetings and events. The whole it's connected to, people don't like the word gamification, but it's attached to the introduction of games into what we do at meetings and events. General session speaker Jane McGonigal talked about that today, and there's millions and millions and millions of gaming-oriented people in the world. And I can't remember the statistic that she gave, but a lot of them are older than you might think. I think she said 1 in 5 are over 50 right now, of people who spend a good amount of their time doing online gaming and whatnot. There's a market out there for that to be integrated into the meetings and events industry.
It's interesting. And is it coming from is it a bottom up kind of drive to technology? In other words, meeting attendees saying, "Hey, I do this offline. Why can't I do this in a meeting?" Or is it top down?
No, I think it's definitely what you said before. I
have the experience here. I should have it here.
Exactly, and it's a natural transition for those people.